Oh my god, this thing flies. It is such a beautiful day out today. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another review video. Big shout out goes out to Diton for reaching out to me and asking me to review one of their dual motor electric bikes. This is the Tank 300 model. And just for size comparison, I am 5'8", I weigh 160 pounds, and this is what I look like on this monster. The sitting position is very, very comfortable and natural to me. It is a little bit hunched over, but it feels very nice. It feels like a motorcycle. The seat is very, very comfortable. And as far as the suspension, we have an adjustable front fork. Now, it is generic, but it's on the higher end of generic forks, and it's fairly smooth. In the rear, we have dual rear shocks that are fairly stiff. Of course, we're going to be testing everything else today. In this review, I'm going to go over everything there is to know about this electric bike. I'm going to talk about the specs. I'll do a speed test, a brake test. I'm going to ride around and talk about the riding experience. And we're going to take it on a little mini off-road trail just to test its off-road capabilities. As always, there will be chapters down below, so feel free to skip around to whatever part is of interest to you. But first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the Diton Tank 300 electric bike. It features dual 1500 watt hub motors, one in the front and one in the rear, for a combined total of 3000 watts, coupled with a 48 volts 35 amp hour battery. This should potentially give you range of up to 100 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. We have 20-inch by 4.5-inch fat tires, coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 180mm rotors. This bike also features an adjustable fork with compression and preload, as well as dual rear shocks for a smooth, comfortable ride, a Shimano 7-speed with the Shimano derailleur, a very comfortable seat, and an optional storage tray. In the front of the bike, we have a dual LED headlight that is super bright, as well as motorcycle style turn signals. And in the rear, we have a taillight, an active brake light, as well as turn signals. That is always good. And up on the handlebars, we have our front brake, our full twist throttle, Shimano gear changer, and ignition. In the center, we have a beautiful color display. And on the left side, we have our rear brake, our on-off / mode selector buttons, headlight switch, turn signals, and a horn. And that is pretty much it for the specs. Now, as far as the price, this current model goes for $17.99, but I will have a link in the description down below, along with a coupon code where you can get $200 off if you're interested in this model. Now, before I do the speed test, just a few things that stand out to me. First and foremost is the look of this thing. Oh my god, this thing looks beautiful. Got that vintage motorcycle look that I personally really like. The second thing is these beefy tires. Oh man, 4.5-inch wide and very nice, and the tread on them is insane. Really, really nice tires on this thing. And the last thing is this screen. The design on here is one of the nicest designs I've ever seen on an e-bike that I've personally reviewed. It's a small little thing, but it adds a lot. I really like that. But with all that stuff being said, I think it's time to jump into our speed test. Now, before I do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure. This bike has like a 3-step startup, let's call it. The first step is turning the battery on, which is this start-stop button. You just push that in and the battery turns on. The second step is turning the ignition on, because the bike will not turn on without the ignition. And the third step is just the power button. We hold that for a few seconds and the screen will turn on. Now, as I said in the intro, the screen, hopefully you guys can see that well, is a beautiful design screen. I really like that. It kind of really ties in the whole motorcycle vibe. Now, this bike has 5 pedal assist modes. 0 means no throttle. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But since this is a dual motor bike, we can choose between rear motor only, front motor only, or both. And that means we have 15 different riding modes to choose from, and that is insane. Now, switching between the motors is pretty simple. We double tap the power button and then we can switch between rear drive, dual drive, or front drive. For our speed test, I'm going to be using dual motor mode, pedal assist mode 5. So I got my phone's GPS app open and the speed reset. Throw that in my pocket real quick, and let's see how fast this thing can go. Okay, so initial takeoff, pretty nice and gradual, but this thing gets going pretty quick. Bike is already showing 32. Now this bike is supposed to hit 35 miles an hour, but if I'm able to hit anything 30 miles an hour and faster, I'd be happy. Bike is showing 35. It is a little bit windy today. I hope that will not affect our top speed. Bike is showing 36 now. I'm just gonna keep on going till the end of the road. All right, that should be enough. I just wanted to give my GPS app enough time to catch up. And let's see our result. All right, so my GPS app is showing 35.9. That is really, really good. There are two things I'm happy about. One is that the speedometer is on point, which is rare, so that is really nice. The second thing is we actually got 0.9 mile per hour faster than the advertised speed, and that is also rare and very welcoming. Now, after I unboxed this thing, I took it for a little spin to make sure everything is okay, and I actually managed to hit 36.3. So I'm surprised I got a little bit less this time, but just the fact that it actually goes faster than advertised is amazing. But anyways, that was our highly successful speed test. Now let's do our brake test, and these are hydraulic brakes, which is a beautiful thing to see. 180 millimeter rotor, that is very nice. I'm gonna be making my way up to about 20 miles an hour, and I'm gonna be stopping at this light pole in 3, 2, go. Wow. All right, so from that light pole to where I'm at, we're looking at about 10 to 12 feet or so of stopping distance from about 20 miles an hour. And that is pretty good considering the weight of this thing and my weight on it. Now, they don't have an official weight on their website, but from what I could tell, this thing is about 100 pounds at least, so that is a very good result. Another thing to consider is these are brand new brakes, and they'll only get better with time as they bed themselves in, and you should expect better performance. But that was our very successful brake test. Now let's talk about the riding experience, and wow, so far this thing feels like a motorcycle. It is so nice. As far as the name, they call it the Tank, and they weren't lying. This thing definitely feels like a tank. This thing is super nice. The throttle response is nice, and I'm definitely getting motorcycle vibes out of this thing. And for its size and weight, it is very, very agile, very maneuverable. I feel like I'm riding a motorcycle on this thing. So sick. As far as stability, this thing is fairly stable as well. Like I said, it sits like a tank. See how it does over a bump. Ah, yeah, beautiful, no problem at all. Very nice. And the suspension, again, it's a generic fork. It is on the higher end of generic forks, but it is really nice. See this? Yeah, super nice, super smooth, and the seat is very comfortable. Let me show you that real quick. So first of all, look at this thing. Such a beautiful bike. Another thing that I want to mention is this tray right here. Now, it came with the bike and I installed it because I'm reviewing the bike, but technically you do not have to install it and save on some weight, which will give you better range and faster acceleration. And the bike actually looks very nice even without this thing. So just another option right there. Back to the seat. Look at this thing. Hopefully it comes across with like the shadows. Super soft and foamy. It's not the biggest in the world, but it kind of works on this bike. This little part right here, to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure what it's here for. Maybe it's just to house the brake light, but there are no passenger foot pegs on this bike, so I don't really see you using this for anything else. As far as power, look at this. Front wheel just wants to go. That is crazy. Now, as I said when I was doing the starting procedure and talking about the modes, 15 different modes, that is excellent. So if you are commuting with this thing and you want to kind of preserve battery, make your range last longer, you have so many riding modes to choose from to accommodate your riding style or route you're taking or whatever. So that I really like. Now the tune on this thing is so nice. The throttle response is really smooth. When you take off, it doesn't go, you know, crazy right away, spinning tires and going crazy, which it is fun, don't get me wrong, it is fun, but you don't really get that. It's very nice and smooth. But now let's see our hill climbing performance. I will be in dual motor mode for this. This hill is about 15 to 18% grade, and it shouldn't be any issue at all for this bike, especially with the dual motors. So we are slowing down a bit. The bike is capped at about 26 miles an hour, but it's not really struggling, if you know what I mean. And we climbed up this hill in no time. So if you do live in an area with a lot of hills, or that's a part of your commute, you got nothing to worry about, especially in dual motor mode. The bike is definitely going to be handling a lot of those hills. And like I said, look how smooth this thing is. So nice, so stable. Let's go. Crazy. And the brakes on this thing are absolutely nuts. Very good brakes. So far, I am really impressed with this thing. Now I want to test the pedal assist and its response time. So I got my left foot forward. Let's see, half a revolution, okay. So 1 revolution and the pedal assist kicks in. Now the one complaint that I do have, and I do have to say it now, is just the pedaling position. It's very tight. Maybe if you are shorter than 5'8", you might have an easier time pedaling. It's just a little awkward for me and kind of tight. But at the same time, me personally, once you have the throttle, I never pedal. So I never use that stuff. And the sitting position with the pedals is comfortable enough. It's just pedaling is a little funky, but other than that, this bike is insane. Now, one thing that I do want to note is I've been riding for 9 miles now, and the battery is like at 96%. It does go down to 95% when I'm like pushing it, so let's call it 95. And that is absolutely nuts. This battery is crazy. Now keep in mind, I've been on pedal assist mode 5, dual motor mode, so the highest amount of power on this bike, and the battery is still over 90%. That is absolutely insane. Now I'm on my way to do our off-road test, but to me, I'm enjoying this thing so much as like a cruiser that I would be using it for the road more than I would be using it off-roading. But of course, this is a review and I want to test all aspects, so we're headed there right now. All right, the time has come for our off-road test. I'm gonna stick to dual motor mode just to see how it does. Now this trail might not seem like it on the GoPro, but it's very bumpy, very demanding. I want to test a few things. I want to test the suspension, of course, which again is generic, so don't expect anything too crazy. And the power. As far as the power department, I'm less concerned. I know this thing can handle everything. It's more of like the suspension, which, yeah, you can hear is a little clanky. I could stiffen it up a bit, I guess. Now we got a little incline here. And how is this bike handling it? Oh, no problems at all. Just flying forward. Gaining speed. Really good. Yeah, like I said, I am not concerned as far as the power goes. This thing has plenty of power. It's just that suspension. So it handled this part no problem, but I'm not sure if I would be taking it to extreme trails like this very often. Me personally, I would use it for the road, as a cruiser, as a commuter. Definitely ride in style. But still, it did manage to pass this test. Alright. I usually like to stop after I do the off-road test and kind of check the bike. I'm mainly checking the headset, which feels very solid. Fenders or anything got loose, but everything seems pretty solid. Alright, so what do I think about the Diton Tank300 electric bike? Let's do things I like, things I don't like, and is this thing good value for money or not? I'll start with things I like, and there are so many, so I'll try to be quick. I love the look and the design of this bike. It looks like a vintage motorcycle. Very, very nice, and it actually rides like a motorcycle. Very nice. I love the power and the dual motors on this thing. If you've never tried a dual motor e-bike, you are missing out. It is a very, very fun and unique experience. I'm loving the top speed of this thing. 35 is plenty, and the fact that I was able to hit even faster than the advertised speed, that is very, very nice. I'm loving the seat. Very comfortable. It is small, but very, very comfortable. I love the brakes, and I'm loving that display, like I said in the intro. Very, very nice display. As far as the suspension, I'm like 50-50 on that, because it is a generic fork, but it's on the higher end of generic forks, and if you're using this for commuting and for road riding, it is more than sufficient. But when it comes to off-roading, it is a little bit lacking, so I wouldn't take this off-roading all the time per se. Me personally, I view this more of a road bike, and that's how I would be using this thing. And some other miscellaneous things I like are the motorcycle style turn signals, active brake light, turn signals in the rear. Those are all very good things to have. Now let's do things I don't like, and I always try to find at least one, just so I'm honest with you guys. In this case, the only thing that I can say that I dislike about this bike would be the rear shocks. Now again, as I said earlier, if you're using this bike for road commuting, they are perfectly fine. For off-roading, they're a bit harsh, and if they were a little bit softer, this bike would be perfect. But with all that stuff being said, is this thing good value for money or not? So we're talking $17.99, and I will have a $200 off coupon code. That'll be in the description down below. I think that for everything that you're getting here, the total package, it is a very decent value for money. I highly recommend this bike. Now this bike does come in a different color as well, where the frame is black and the tank is yellow. Looks very, very nice as well. Just wanted to mention that. Now I'm pretty sure I was able to go over everything there is to know about this electric bike, but in case I missed anything, please leave it in the comment section and I will do my best to answer. Also, what do you guys think about this bike? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. This has been the Diton Tank300 electric bike review. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.